Hi guys, welcome back. I'm excited to film this one today because I am trying to dupe two, they're both upside down, two products that I have some issues with, but actually I do like. Now, I have a whole video on both of these. These are the Drunk Elephant, I should say. This is the O-Bloos Rosi drops, and this is the Drunk Elephant D-Bronzi Anti-Pollution Sunshine drops. So I have a whole video, I will link it here. I went through it all. I said I didn't like it, and I said the reason that I didn't like it is because they only have one shade. It's not very inclusive, and that I stand behind. I think a brand as big as Drunk Elephant coming out with one shade of like their blush, their liquid blush, it's not enough. But I do like them, and I'm not saying that I don't like them. I have owned the full-size one of this in the past. I was considering buying this one, but they are both $36, so they're not cheap. If you want to get this little concoction, it's going to cost you. But it got me thinking that maybe I could try to find something that would be a dupe, because I truly wanted to find something that did the same thing. And I have two, not one, two options. So let's get into it. I only have SPF on my face today, and that is what I typically do. I do my skincare, SPF, and then I jump into this. So if you have seen the video, what you do with these is you mix them, you combine them, you do like a pump and a pump, mix them all up, and it becomes this really fun like bronzy but like blush shade, and then you can put it all over your face. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do two different options that are dupes for these Drunk Elephant products. So before we get going, you guys know the deal. Please do like, please do subscribe. I am going to be running a contest, a giveaway, I guess, when I hit 2,000 subscribers. So if you are not a subscriber and you want to be entered, I'm starting to build the giveaway. I have some really great products that I'm going to be giving away, and it's going to be a pretty big box. So if you do want to be entered, please do subscribe. Let me know below if you're new, and then I can give you a big high five and hello and thank you. But let's get going now. I'm so excited for this video. I've been like just dying to share this. Okay, so I'm going to insert a picture here. This is from my video, and it pretty much shows what these two in combination look like. And they do look beautiful. But I also have like a light to medium, in the summer more medium skin tone, so they work on me. I think the issue is more that they don't work for all skin tones. But I wanted to give you options for all skin tones because that is important. We don't all just have fair skin, and yeah. Also, I wanted to give you some cheaper options. Now, the thing about my cheaper options is most of them are less in terms of like the actual amount of product. So the first two that I'm going to mention are the Lumene. These are Invisible Illumination. This is watercolor blush, watercolor bronzer. So you get a half a fluid ounce or 15 milliliters in both of these. With the Drunk Elephant, the full size, you do get one. These are not the full size clearly, but for the full size you do get one fluid ounce, which is also 30 milliliters. So you are getting half the amount, and it is half the price. So in the end, these do end up being a little bit more expensive. But I think the reason that I can call them a dupe is because for me, I would never go through the whole Drunk Elephant, O-Bloos, or D-Bronzi. And I think most people probably don't. Now, if you know that you go through products because you only use one single thing forever and ever, then Drunk Elephant is a better option. But if you know like a half an ounce of these are going to last me and I'm just fine, or maybe you need different skin tones, you need something that is going to be a little bit more inclusive, then it's when you look into other options. But I did want to say that like when you actually break down the amount and the price, they don't end up being a dupe. But like I said, this is enough for me. I'm never going to use all of these probably. Now, the other option is also kind of the same, in the same boat. It is the Glossier Cloud Paint. Well, these are Cloud Paint and Cloud, what is it called? Solar Paint. So this is their new bronzer. This comes in 4 shades. I have it in the second to lightest, which is Ray. It might be a little dark on me, but it works. And then these are 2 of the Glossier Cloud Paints. So the Cloud Paints are $18, and you get 0.33 fluid ounces, which is 10 milliliters. So a lot less than the Drunk Elephant. And this retails for $20, 0.5 ounces, which is about 13 or 15 milliliters. So kind of the same as one of the Lumene ones. Now the reason that I'm definitely including the Glossier ones is because these Cloud Paints come in 8 shades. And that's the whole point of this. This Drunk Elephant comes in 1 shade. If it doesn't work for you, too bad, so sad. But if you want to do the same kind of effect, these you can find a shade that works really well. Now I have two other shades. One is like the neutral nude one. I have that. That doesn't work as well in this combination. And then I forget what the other one I have is. But I went ahead and purchased these two because I thought that I was trying to match to this color, because this color is kind of the look that I was going for. So if you do have a lighter skin tone, one of these two, which is, let's see, this is Beam and this is Puff. Either of these are going to work really well. And I actually do find that this is a really good dupe for that. But again, if you need a darker shade because you have a darker skin tone, just go for one of the darker cloud paint. And then for the Lumene, it only comes in two shades, where you get the Pink Blossom, which is a pretty close match to that. And then you also have a Coral Blush. So I wouldn't say that those two are as inclusive as the Glossier, but I did want to offer them because they are a little bit cheaper. You can actually get these for about 15 bucks on skinstore.com. So it's a better dupe, but not as inclusive. This one is the most inclusive for the Glossier, for sure. Okay guys, I'm already sweating. It's so hot in this little office. But we're gonna start with the Lumene, and you do have to shake these. These are like, I will show you what it looks like, but they come out in the little dropper, and so you can just drop a few drops on your hand. Oh, that might have been too much. And same with the bronzer. Definitely too much for half of my face. I'm gonna do half the Lumene and then half the Glossier. So this is what you get. You mix your concoction, and then you can kind of see, like, do I want more blush? Do I want more bronzer? I tend to err on the side of a little bit too much blush, just because, I don't know, I feel like that just makes it look a little bit more natural. So these do have a scent. None of the others have a scent. Neither the Drunk Elephant or the Glossier, but these, it smells like a lot of the other Lumene products, and I actually really like the scent. It's really appealing to me, and it is light, kind of like citrusy, I guess. Now, when you're doing this kind of fun mixing and application, the issue, if you do have a lighter skin tone, is you really need to work on the edges, like your hairline, and then make sure that you kind of blend it down your neck and on your, by your ears. Look at that. That is beautiful. It just gives me, like, it basically matches my body. It gives me kind of like a fresh, like, I'm alive look rather than looking kind of pale. And I love it. And you can go, what I do is I do this, any of these combinations, you know, whichever brand I'm trying to use up at the moment. And then if I want, I do a little concealer wherever I need it, under my eyes, and maybe even brighten the center of my face, but I don't make it too crazy. It's just kind of a light coverage, just giving me kind of some warmth and glow. Okay, so this is the Lumene side, nice and glowy, bronzed. It just, I feel like very sun-kissed, like summery. And then this side of my face, this side, we're gonna do the Glossier. So I have the shade, what is this? Ray. This is their new bronzer. And I actually really enjoy the doe foot applicator. I wish they had done that for the cloud paints. In this method, it's a little less convenient, but it still works. And then I'm going to be using the shade Puff, just because I thought that that was the closest to kind of the Drunk Elephant, and we're going on the same kind of like color scheme. So as I did before, you mix it, and honestly, they look pretty much the same. Now this amount, I got too much, so that would probably work for my full face, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Also, it looks crazy until you blend it out, and you just gotta trust the process here. This one dries down a lot quicker than any of the others because it's not as liquidy. It's more like a cream format. So just keep that in mind if you are going to go with the Glossier version. It does take a little bit. You just have to be quicker. But look at that. So simple. Now, like I said, I kind of missed, you know, you got to blend it down because otherwise you will have like a face. And like if you don't blend it everywhere, it'll just look a little obvious. So just do keep that in mind. Now the other thing is, once you have this all done, it can sometimes look like a lot. I like to actually use a concealer to kind of brighten up the insides of my face. Also, I tend to use concealer most of the time like as a foundation if it's just a normal day and I'm not doing much. So this is a great way to kind of make it look a little bit more natural versus like I sat in the sun all day. And it also gives you coverage where you need it if you need to spot conceal or anything like that. So I'm gonna just finish this up and then we'll finish this video off. Okay, we're done. So all I did was put a little bit of concealer under my eyes, brightened it up a little bit, mascara, that was pretty much it. And this is a simple, like out of the door, 5 minutes, you look pulled together, you feel pulled together, that kind of thing. And I have to say, I love, love, love this, especially in the summer when my face is pretty much always a lighter shade than my body. It just matches everything up. I look put together, but I don't look like I have a ton of makeup on. And I think whatever option that you choose, like if you say like, I don't mind spending the $36 for each one, then do that. If these work for you, that's great. I think that it's really up to personal preference, but I do love that there are cheaper options, especially these. You can get both of these on skinstore.com for $14, and you also can use my discount code, which is DanaR, which gets you 25% off, which is pretty great. So these are a really cheap option. If you think that you're gonna need more, then maybe do go with the Drunk Elephant. But if you think half a fluid ounce is gonna be fine, then by all means, I think these are gonna be great options. Now, the reason that I actually started this video, before I found out about these two from Lumene, I really thought about the Glossier ones because I thought that the cloud paint would be a good option just because they have so many shades nowadays. They do have 8 shades, and I think you're gonna find one for most skin tones. That is definitely why I included these. They're not as liquidy as the other two, but they still kind of work the same and you can do kind of the same thing. But that said, you could do this with any liquid or like kind of creamy blush and bronzer. So this is not an exclusive list of dupes. These are just the 2 ones that I found and I thought were really good options. But yeah, right now you can't tell which side is which. I think they're both stunning, and I still think that these Drunk Elephant ones are good. I just think, you know, they could come out with maybe a few more shades of the blush, but hey, that's just my opinion, you know? So that's it. I wanted to try to keep this as short and sweet as possible, and I hope this either inspired you. Maybe you are gonna go out and find a different, even cheaper option, or maybe you're like, yes, I love this, I'm gonna go get one of these that you mentioned. Like I said, I do have discount codes for Skin Store where you can get Lumene if you're in the US and abroad. And then Glossier, I also have a discount code, so I will link all those below. I'm just trying to save you guys a little bit more money. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.